Hi everybody, this is Bob with a video that shows a new enhancement to the scheduling system. The purpose of this update is to help you decide if there's room in a schedule for a new appointment. Here's the scenario. A rider calls and leaves a message and requests a ride for July 18th at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and now you have to decide if there's going to be room for this new appointment. Let's first bring up the rider. And now, as you know, the two requirements that have to be met before you can go forward with scheduling any new appointment are: first, we can't violate the limit on the net number of appointments, which is set at 10. And that's calculated with special consideration of what we normally call doubles, rides for people who are living at the same address and going to the same place. Those appointments are counted as one ride, not two. And second, this new appointment start time can't add a third start time to any hour block on that day. Well, we can use this capability right here to check a schedule without leaving the appointment screen. You put in the date and the request is for the 18th. And so you can see the date already has 7 appointments scheduled. And so that first criteria is met. And if you scroll through, you can see that indeed there is a double. So this 7 should really be a 6 for scheduling purposes. But that still leaves a second hurdle, no more than 2 in an hour block restriction. Here, normally you'd have to scroll through again and check for that. But instead of us trying to figure it out by just scrolling, let me show you now what's new. What you see here is the new data box. It's recalculated each time you enter a date. By the way, I gave myself a toggle switch to help in this video, but when you use this screen, this data presentation will show up automatically. You can see I've zoomed in on the box, so let's take a look at that and see what it's trying to tell us. You'll see that the total appointment start times, the very thing that we manually found the double on, has been reduced from 7 to 6. So the calculation that the computer went through to show you the net count of the appointment starts accurately took into account the fact that there was a double. And that's what this note reminds us. Riders with the same home address and the same appointment time are counted once. You no longer have to scroll through the schedule looking for doubles. That reduces your manually gross count by 1 or 2 or however many doubles there happens to be. The computer now does this for you. The second criteria to be looked at is, would this appointment request give you more than 2 in any hour block? And you see that this request, if you remember, was for 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. already has 2 in it. Then you would have to deny this request or try another time to accommodate this rider. We'll talk about the other 2 columns hourly breakdowns in what I call legs in a minute. But now let's go back now and test out the responsiveness of this new data presentation. Prior to this video, I set up an appointment already for the 18th for 10 a.m. But then I canceled it so it wasn't counted in what you just saw. I did it this way to help speed up this presentation. Let's see what would happen if it really was in there and see if that changed any of those data. Let's uncancel it for now. Change the Y to an N. Go back. Check the 18th. And you can see the gross count now goes up 1 from 7 to 8. However, the appointment start times net out at 7 since you still have that double in there. But the 10 a.m. slot, which we've already said was not going to work has been upgraded to 3 because we let that appointment be uncanceled. Here is that new appointment, by the way, if you're wondering where it went. Now let's go back and recancel and come back again. Now let's talk about these legs. A leg is one part of an appointment for the driver, a take and a return. And these show the hourly breakdown counts in outbound and inbound trips for the drivers. This is becoming a source of concern for the driver community. So I wanted to go ahead and put it in here while I was doing the coding to make all of this work. In particular, there seems to be some additional concerns recently that we usually didn't have to worry about not so long ago. In particular, about what's called the return leg. Remember, that's the go get the driver at their destination and return them back home trip. As things have changed in Bella Vista, particularly with the traffic, when these return trips get clustered like you see maybe here, 2 and 3 together and 1 in the afternoon, sometimes problems crop up in the driving schedule that are challenges for the drivers, and that means that the drivers have to utilize that third band more than you might think. So these 2 legs are on here. There may be some help in the future at the scheduler level, but right now, as I record this, there's no new rule regarding the return leg, nor the take leg for that matter. So I hope that helps you in your scheduling day, and if you have any questions about how this works or any other ideas that might help you schedule, just give me a call and I'll talk to you soon.